Welcome to Berardi and Coke. We're here for the post-match Nottingham Forest loss here today. If you have any questions, any comments that you want to get in, obviously use the chat. You will have seen that there's also a link tweeted out there just to if anyone wants to come on and have a chat. We'll see you in a sec.
Hi, this is Don Matteo, and you are listening to the Ought to Know Better podcast. Let's do this.
Well, let's get stuck into this Berardi and Coke after that Nottingham Forest loss today. Personally, I think we've a long way to go, regardless of how the January transfer window went. I think we need a tactical change in some form or another. I understand that it's new signings, stuff like that, and people are very much entitled to their opinion, and it's a difficult one to go through tonight. We know that Forest were kind of there, and they were on a bit of a run. We have not been on any kind of run at all, and I think personally myself, with the signings that we made tonight, they were there for the taking, and we simply didn't do that. Our finishing build-up play seems to be lacking quite a bit. There's a lot of people in the comments, just I don't want to be that person or anything like, but Marcus May says march out now. What are your thoughts on that? Like, because my thoughts on it so far after being on for the whole time we've been here. My thoughts on Jesse Marsh. He's a lovely fella. Make a great kind of office manager type motivator, but I don't think he has any of the credentials to take this team forward. What are your thoughts on that? I personally think that we need a change at the top. I think the way we're playing at the moment, granted, new players need to be bedded in. New players need to be understanding of how he wants to play. But let's be honest, there's a lot of them players in this team recently that understand how he wants to play, and we're clearly not going about it the way we should go about it. I think defensively we're looking a lot more solid with Verber in the back. I'm probably saying his name wrong, but I do think we're a lot more solid at the back. Granted, we did concede today with him in the team, and Jesse has kind of made a point of it. We haven't conceded with him in the team, but at the same time, we did today, and our response to trying to alleviate that conceded goal, it genuinely, to me, it doesn't look like we've got the kind of style of play that we need to score these goals. I don't think that I genuinely don't think that the style of play that we're currently using at the moment is going to be effective for us moving forward. Now, I understand Paul here. Now he says it's unfortunate, Karl, that Jesse hasn't got the tactical awareness in the first half. We were all over Forest. Steve Cooper saw the threat of Willie, changed his tactics, and in the second half, well, I don't know if it changed much in the second half, Paul, because in my opinion, our only out ball at the moment seems to be Willie. We genuinely do not have any other out ball at the moment that Jesse seems to be comfortable with when it comes to playing it out from the back. It looks like we're trying to get the ball into a position in midfield, and once we get it to that position, it's straight out to Willie. Willie seems to be our out ball at the moment, and I'm struggling personally just to see what we can do outside of making sure Willie gets the ball. Um, I'm not picking on particular comments here. I'm trying to do my best in between chatting and getting comments up. But Marcus again says, nice guy, but he's not cut out for the job. Unfortunately, that's my opinion as well. I think Jesse is within um, a position where he can't elevate the team to a certain standard that we seem to need within the team at the moment. And look, that's no slight on him. He has won, leagues and cups or whatever, but they've been in leagues that have been far, far under the level that the Premier League is. And I don't think him coming out saying stuff like I've won cups here, I've won leagues there, is something that we should accept, because as a club we have a very high standard as to how we should be playing, how we should be enforcing ourselves on this league. And let's be honest, looking at the bottom half of the table, this is probably the weakest and shoddiest Premier League for a very, very long time. You've got teams down the bottom where between us and, well, Forest were on 21 before we played them today. But apart from that, like it's 2-3 points between us and the bottom. And like we're in 17th now. That's simply not good enough. And I'm not going to ring a bell and just be like, oh, Bielsa this or whatever the case may be. We're in the position now that we're in because of how we're playing. This is something that me personally, like there's other lads on the pod that feel that, there's progress there. There's there's good signs there, and sometimes you can actually see those good signs that my colleagues on the pod are on about. But when the times where we lose the ball in the middle of the park because of sloppy passing, that's unforgivable for me. And me personally, that shows me that we don't necessarily have any kind of structure to how we're playing once we get it to a certain place in the on the pitch. So what I mean by that is that we get the ball to a certain place, like I said, and people have pointed out there, first ball out the way is Willie. Why not look at something more creative when we have the likes of Adams, Rocca, who can pass a ball? Like we've all seen it. Rocca can pass a ball given the time, given the space. Why is there such an urgency to get the ball out wide to Willie? And then we're just left, as soon as Willie gets it, we come back inside. We're narrow. And I did see the lads. I did see the lads' video on Marsh's tactics on Twitter. It's actually worth a watch. I would highly recommend it. And I totally see what he's saying. He shows a lot of, like, there was that particular picture of the four players stuck in the middle of the park, all around each other. We've won the ball back, and he tried to show you where you went from there and why that was actually a good action in the play. And I understand that and I can see that. But at the same time, I'm looking at that going, right, okay, that's us absolutely mashed up right in one spot. And our out ball is either to our centre back or it's into the wing where we're absolutely cramped anyway. So I just feel with the tactics we're using, we need to start utilizing the players that we've brought in now. Uh, with the McKinney thing, I think having Rocca, Adams, and McKinney in the middle of the park, it's as much as that is the way he likes to play. All right, Luke, how's it going?
Evening, mate. Yeah, sorry, mate. I've just been trying to get the girls to sleep. Sorry I'm so late.
That's okay, man. I was just saying in relation to having the three lads in the middle with McKinney, Rocca, and Adams. I feel we're kind of sacrificing an attacking minded player by having three players in there that aren't, like, two of them aren't going to be the player that we're going to rely on to bring the attack forward to actually create something. Where, like, I think McKinney, undoubtedly he's class, but he's a
Mm.
box player. He's not a creative player that we need in that position. So I think we're sacrificing an attacking minded player to have three players in there, not doing the same job necessarily, but quite similar, if you get me.
Yeah, mate. I think is that I know there's a lot of hate for Jesse at the minute, and some of it warranted. Ultimately it's a results
Hmm.
based business, and we need to be picking up more points in these sort of games. But yeah, I think one of the things that threw me slightly was he brought McKennie on for Rocker, and McKennie openly said that's not really his game. Sitting in a
Hmm.
double pivot, he likes to get box to box. Um, so one of the things that really, really frustrated me was the changes he made were the right changes, but he didn't change anything about the style or formation or
Hmm.
anything. It was almost like, oh, I'll just try the same thing we're doing, but with different players, see if it makes it any better, And
Yeah.
it didn't. It just didn't. One of the ideas I had, I mean, put two up top. They were playing with 11 men behind the ball. Put two players in their fucking penalty box. You
Hmm.
know, play one pivot. They weren't attacking us. Play one pivot. Leave Tyler Adams in front to protect the back four. Play your usual three behind a front two. We're chasing the game.
Yeah.
You've got to start. You've got to start fucking taking chances in these games. Uh,
Yeah.
uh, and then he has the audacity to put fucking Mesley up front from the last corner of the game. I mean, if you're chasing the game that much, that you can
Yeah.
put a goalkeeper on the goal on their goal line from a corner, why can't you play with two strikers?
Hmm. Yeah.
It just it
I
just it just really frustrated me. And look, everybody says that I'm a real happy clapper and I'm Jesse and that, and I'm not. I just try and see the positives, and the positives I can take is
yeah.
that we're in control of every game we've played this year. We've been in absolute control, not just control. We've looked like the better team in most games, but we're just not scoring the goals. So something's wrong. And if Jesse isn't getting that out of the players, that's the issue. That's the problem. And
Hmm.
ultimately, that's his job to get the best out of those players.
Yeah. I found that, like you said there, I'm not disagreeing with it. I like yourself. I want Jesse to succeed. I want anyone that's associated with Leeds United to succeed, because ultimately it means we're all way happier about where the club are at and whatever. But you made a very good point there that he's he's not he's not putting the players into positions that are most lethal in the positions we need. He's not doing it, and I think the last place, like we're like you said, we're great. We get to the 18-yard box, we're absolutely savage. We're proper on them the whole time. Once we get to that 18-yard box, we lose all kind of, what the fuck do we do now?
No composure at all, and it's a
Nothing,
team. It's a
nothing.
team. It's a team playing void of any confidence for me.
Yeah,
You look, and there's nobody taking effort and taking shots. It's almost like they're structured into get it wide, get it into the box, shoot from. You can only shoot from the penalty
mm,
area. There's no. It's the same thing on repeat all the time, and it
yeah,
works. We are controlling games, we are making chances, but it's not working enough to the point where we're actually scoring fucking goals.
yeah,
I find it really really frustrating. I found it really frustrating today. The first half I thought we were really really good and probably unlucky not to go in one or two up.
yeah,
Second half absolute dog shit, mate. It was like watching League One stuff.
mm,
Kicking it, long. Um, devout of any ideas. One stat I did pick up though, and I know so whoever's seen my tweet earlier on, they'll see this, but it's not a great barometer, but we.
mm,
We've outperformed, according to XG, every team we've played this year. So since New Year's Eve, since Newcastle, every team we've played this year, we've outperformed on XG, which would suggest we should be winning more games. We've not won one in the league. There's something wrong.
yeah,
Um, and it went. I just don't know. It's just so frustrating, man, as a Leeds fan, and you can see emotions are boiling over online, and I've seen a number of polls now suggesting Jesse, and it's won quite comfortably. Jesse in or out, and I think the majority of the fan base is now convinced that it is Jesse out time. Um,
like
my
I know
my real
you've been, like you've been a big advocate of like, and I'm not knocking you for it at all. Like I said, I just want Leeds fucking as a whole to do well. But you've been a big advocate for trying to give Jesse the time he needs. But do you think is the time he needed now up after today? This is where this is a result that we needed to get a positive. Like we'd have all said, we're happy with a draw, but we're not really happy with a draw. We should have got a win there. But do you think is this the game now where Jesse's just he's literally dragging his arse through the door now at this stage?
Something's got to give, and it. Look, we've got on paper arguably probably a 10th to 12th finish in the league squad now. So the squad's not an argument. We've not been riddled with injuries. You know, we've had a relatively fit squad for the majority of the season. And somebody just popped on there. Skip just popped on. Where was it? Skip just put okay. Saying this, Luke, about our performances, but we haven't won. No, I'm completely in agreement. You know, I'm not standing here and supporting Jesse Marsh and saying, look, he is the man for the job. I don't believe he's the man to take us forward. My biggest concern and my biggest worry, I think, is bringing a new manager in this stage of the season will go one of two ways. It'll either go really, really badly, or it'll resurrect us. But are we going to go down anyway if we don't change it? So it's a chance. It's a roll of the dice we might have to take. I honestly don't know what the answer is, mate. Because it's the frustrating thing is that first half we looked like we probably should have scored 3 or 4. Sinisterra, Nonto, Ayling all had really good chances, but then the second half to come out and play like that against a team that you know are going to sit back and just try and defend that 1-goal lead, it's inexcusable, to be honest with you, Carl.
It's criminal to not go and flood their back line at that stage with the players that we have now. It like what you were saying there, Luke. Luke Thompson here says not a single shot on target in the second half. Like that goes back to your point there. Like they were a team sitting back, and we still didn't have a shot on target. And then there's this other one here from Idle Matt. Our XG, all right, Smarty. Our XG was 0.75. Yeah, that was higher than Forest, but we are not going to win games with that kind of XG. And that's a fact. Like,
yeah, I think my argument is it's higher than Forest. So, when you're out, what my tweet meant was where we've got higher XG in every game this year, which 9 times out of 10 should mean you're going to win most of those games. You know, common sense would prevail there, but it's not, and it's not good enough. It isn't good enough, and ultimately a little bit pissed off. I mean, I'm already rough as toast as it was today, so that performance didn't really cheer me up in any way, shape, or form. Just give me anxiety. Yeah, mate, I've just put little one to sleep.
Is that what you're have to look at when they wake up next year? Is it?
You sound like Darth Vader there.
Yeah,
not again.
Yeah,
Really,
probably your headphone. We can hear you,
I think,
but
mate.
it's bouncing proper. Like you all need to get some plug-in headphones, man. These things never fail.
Yeah, they're bad. No, Alison, I haven't. I just went out to watch England lose rugby last night. Not got flu at all. It's all self-inflicted. Feel absolutely fine in terms of my health. It's just, just had a few too many sherbets last night with a few old friends. He is the worst coach in the division. Look, I think for me, the frailties and the things that we were struggling with earlier on in the season, Carl.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, it still sounds shit, mate. Piss off.
I'm going to fuck off. I'm not having this for the second pod in a row, man. I'll see you in a bit.
This time it's different.